Right, listen. The last part of the Rigvedic age, having completed Rigvedic polity, society and economy, we have to deal with Rigvedic religion. When it comes to Rigvedic religion, it is defined as, it is called as monism. Monism and henotheism. What do you mean by these two terms? I told you in Indus Valley times, people worshipped the forms of nature. Forms of nature. In the Vedic religion, it is worshipping the forces of the nature. If it is worship of the forces of nature, okay, then it is called henotheism. In worshipping these forces of nature, you personify them. That too, you personify them. Because you can't worship the force of nature just like that. Wind, how will you worship wind? So you should, give a person's, personification of wind. Call it Vayu, you Vayu. Agni, I can worship Agni. For that also, I'll give a person, personification of Agni. Okay. Rain, for that Varun. Wind, Malaya. Cloud, Maruta. So these are all natural forces. For that natural forces, you give human form and worship them. Then it is called henotheism. Monism. What is monism? Monism means God is one, but manifests in different forms. Takes different forms. All forms are just the forms of God. Okay. This concept is monism. This is different from monotheism. In monotheism, God is one, but no form. God is Niramaya, Nirguna, Nirakar. That is monotheism. Monism, God is one, but takes different forms. Okay. This is what, you can define, you can say Vedic religion all about. This is worshipping the forces of nature, and that too the forces personified. Then we ask Rigveda. Rigveda kindly tell us how the concept religion, how this universe formed and how the concept religion developed. Rigveda tells you the God, earliest God, Father Dayus. Father Dayus. You call Father Dayus as Jehovah, Josiah and Jupiter. These are all other names for Dayus. We call him Dayus. Greeks call him Jupiter. In Christianity, same Jupiter, in their religion, Jehovah. Jehovah otherwise. J-A. They are pronounced just the same way. Okay. Josna, they pronounce it Yesna. Okay. Yesna. That's, in Swedish language, J is A. Like that. So, it means just the same. In other words, I am telling you, the beginnings of all these religions, the point, one common point is Central Asia. That's the point. Whether it is Islam or Christianity, or at one time the areas were predominantly Hindu. Okay. It's all from one source, one point, one place. Okay. So Vedic religion tells you Father Dayus, Jehovah or Jupiter, Father Dayus, and Mother Prithvi. Who is this Dayus? God of sky and above skies. Where do you see Dayus? Sky and above skies. He belonged to celestial sphere. God Dayus, sky, God for sky and above skies. And Mother Prithvi, Prithvi means earth. These two performed Hiranyagarbha's sacrifice, great sacrifice, according to Vedic religion. This whole universe, it evolved out of this great Hiranyagarbha's sacrifice. Universe evolved, divided into three spheres. Three spheres, celestial, sky and above sky celestial. Aerial, that's where atmosphere forms. Cloud formation takes place. And terrestrial. Celestial, aerial and terrestrial. These are the three spheres universe divided into according to Rig Veda. Everything is according to Rig Veda. For every sphere, you have one God representing that area. God Indra for celestial sphere. Most powerful God in the Vedic religion. In some textbooks, you are given the impression that Aryan means the ones who worship Indra. In the Rigvedic religion, Indra, most powerful God. My dear, in Rigveda you have 1028 verses, slokas. 11 common for Rigveda and Samveda. You can say 1017 actually belong to Rigveda. Of this 1017, or add 11 also, doesn't matter, 1028, nearly 250, that means 1/4 of Rigveda almost dedicated to Indra. 1/4 of Rigveda dedicated to Indra. You can understand his importance. What's so important about this god Indra? Rigveda tells you that Indra, god of war and victory. You are going for war, then first you have to pray Indra. Yo Indra, Purandhar, the one who destroys the forts with lightning and thunderbolt, Vajrayudha, you please come to our rescue. Give us victory. Okay. I already told you, these are all symbolic. These are all symbolic. Actually, Indra means what? Whoever that conquers the senses. Right? Whoever that conquers the senses, he is very powerful man. Okay. You can definitely see victory when you conquer your senses. Right? So Indra means highest manifestation of power, highest manifestation of energy. It is like Vajrayudha. Vajrayudha means nothing but electricity. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is nothing but electricity. I told you, my dear, when you control your indriyas, I told you, indriyas, right? They are all indriyas. If you close them, tremendous energy. It's like electricity. In your body, there is electricity, you know that. Which can lit, a 60 candle bulb also. If you control your senses, means you are stopping the thought process that generates tremendous energy. When you stop the flow of water, right, you can get energy. Turbines, apply turbines and get energy, same thing. When you stop the flow of thought in your brain, that generates power. So Indra, manifestation of power. Okay. Rigveda says he is Purandhar, who could destroy forts. Understand? That's why god of war and victory. When you are preparing for civil service, okay, you have to pray God, Indra. Indra, kindly see that my indriyas are not distracted. Got the point? That's why I told you, your first enemy is your bloody cell phone is your enemy. It distracts you a lot. It is diluting the strength of your indriyas. Right? When you control your indriyas, that means you are getting the grace of Indra. You can conquer UPSC. That's the point. Question in UPSC's question. Who killed a demon serpent Vritra? What is Vritra? V-R-I-T-R-A. Vritra, awe-striking serpent, snake. It was threatening to swallow the whole world. It was killed by Indra. Indra saved the universe by killing this demon serpent called Vritra. These are all symbolic. Again and again I am telling you. What do you mean by a serpent, demon serpent? Okay. In Tantra Shastra, Yoga Shastra, even today Yoga Shastra also, every desire you compare it with a snake. Our desires are like snakes. Particularly sexual desires, okay, very dangerous. Okay. If they strike you, okay, you are finished. Understand? You are totally, lost. Okay. People call it Kundalini and all that. Okay. How to activate Kundalini, and that is also like snake. Okay. So when you conquer the desires, means you are highly energetic. Okay. This is what is symbolic. So Indra means he who controls your desires. Okay. That is the actual meaning. When you control the desire, you have no defeat. Okay. This is the real meaning. It is symbolically been said, represented as Indra killing the serpent. Okay, which tried to swallow the universe. Universe is full of desires. When you are immersed into universe, everywhere you see desire. That is the idea, philosophical idea. So simply believe it. If you are not understanding what I am explaining, okay, leave it. Simply believe. Simply believe it. Indra really killed serpent. Bas. What is the name of the serpent? Vritra. Just believe it. Because you see, I am I try my best to explain these things, but some are not catching them up, so better not I complicate. Leave it. That's about Indra. Next one, Varun. Varun means God for aerial sphere. In your geography you are told, ionosphere, stratosphere, troposphere, all like spheres, where finally cloud formation takes place. You remember? Cloud formation. Troposphere. Right. So the God for that sphere, where cloud formation takes place, you call him Varun, God for rain, God for prosperity. Your prosperity is closely connected with rains. If we don't have rains, no prosperity. Isn't it? Isn't it? Your budget is dependent on, even in 21st century, your budget is dependent on monsoons. If monsoons fail, budget khatam. Are you understanding? Because there is no budget. If monsoons continue to fail, agriculture gets affected. Agriculture affected means economy got affected. Right? So we pray Varun for what? Rain. Okay. Rain is very important for prosperity. That's why Rigvedic religion says, Varun, most auspicious, Shubhaprada. He gives you Shubhas, prosperity, wealth. Varun is also said to be God for ethics and values. You are immoral, unethical, Rigveda tells you, you will be punished by Varun. There is another question in UPSC. Vedic God responsible for maintaining world moral order. According to Vedic religion, whole world is functioning as per certain rules and regulations. This is called moral order. sun must rise only in the east. Sun sets in the west. One season to follow the other, 4 seasons. Who controls this? It is Varun. This world order, right? Sun rising, sun setting, seasons following. Okay, this is called Rita. R-I-T-A, Rita. I mentioned serpent, Ritra. That is different. This is called Rita. R or Vrita. V-R-I-T-A. 2 words used. God for that, Varun. Next, come to terrestrial sphere. For terrestrial sphere, you have Agni. You see Agni not in the sky, right? So Agni, you see it on the earth. Okay. Rigveda says sometimes you can see Agni in the air also. So Agni is God for both aerial and terrestrial sphere, but in general you say terrestrial sphere. Who is this Agni? What does he do? According to Rigveda, Agni, a priest by profession. What is Agni's profession? Priest. Okay. You will not have any ceremony and ritual at your home without lighting fire. First you have to lit fire. You have to invoke Agni. Okay. No ritual takes place without Agni, whether it is good ritual or bad ritual. Agni, like Surya Bhagavan, Karma Sakshi, priest. It is that he is priest. His first name, Hotri. That's why you must have come across this name, my dear. Agni Hotri, Agni Hotri. Okay. Hotra, Hotri means priest. Agni by profession, priest. What does he do? He carries your wishes. What is your wish? Why are you performing the ritual? Agni would carry your wish to gods of heavens. He is the messenger between people of the earth and the gods of heavens, according to Vedic religion. Then how would he go to heavens? He would go to heavens in the form of smoke. That's why Agni is called Havyavahana. This is the question in UPSC. Who was called Havyavahan? Havya means smoke. Vahana means vehicle. You know Vahana, Sanskrit word. Vahana means vehicle. God with smoke as a vehicle. It is Agni. Other name for Agni, Hutasana. Hutasana means he who purifies everything. Purifies everything by burning. That's why dead body consigned to flames. You are purified. You fellow, you are dead, you are purified. Agni, consigned. You are consigned to Agni. Ram never asked Sita to go for Agni Pravesh. Totally wrong interpretation. People blame Ram. Ram asked Sita to go for Agni Pravesh. Suspecting the car. No, Ram never does that. Okay. He never asked her. She did it. She did it on her own to prove her chastity. Understand? My grandfather asked me this question. Sita was captivated by Ravanasura fellow. Okay. She refused to eat the food served by Ravana. Okay. Why? Okay. I said, might be it is contaminated, might be it is this answers I started giving. My grandfather laughed at me. Idiot, you have no common sense. Huh? That is the food served by Ravanasura. Eating his food, you should not pray for his death. Are you understanding? If you know this moral, ethical angle, you don't accept gifts first. If someone is inviting you for a party, okay, we go there, we celebrate, okay? वो बुलाया है पार्टी को, खाना पीना इतना अच्छा आता है, जाओ ऐसा. Okay. But morally you are morally you are obliged there. You should never ever go against him once you eat his food. Got the point? If I eat your food, I can't pray for your downfall. That's why she refused to take the food. Then who served her? Indra served her food on the orders of Ravanasura. Ravanasura could command any planet, any god, any, celestial body. Indra served her. She wanted to perform. That's why she jumped into fire. She wanted to prove her chastity. Right. So Agni purifies everything. That's why if you lit fire, poisonous gases won't come there. You know this, scientifically it's proven. Okay? Poisonous gases won't affect the area. Agni is purifier. Second most popular god in the Vedic religion. Given 220 verses. Indra, 250. Next to Indra, Agni, second most popular god. Next to Agni in the order, you have Savitri. Savitri, the name sounds feminine gender, but it's a male. Savitri is the other name for Surya Bhagavan. Doubt. No, you have a doubt. No, you are uttering something. You never knew. Now you knew. Right. On the lighter side, nothing. Right. Savitri. Okay. Even I didn't know first. Like you. There is one fellow named after Savitri. Savitri means it sounded odd also, you see. Savitri is generally feminine, right? But in Vedic mythology, Savitri is the other name for sun god, Surya Bhagavan. Very important for us. You got questions in UPSC. In Vedic mythology, maximum questions on Surya Bhagavan, Savitri. The most sacred mantra, Gayatri. You call Gayatri Mahamantra, 24 Bijaksharas. Most sacred mantra, Gayatri. Gayatri was addressed to, that is the question. Gayatri addressed to Savitri. Say the word Savitri, not Surya. Exact word is Savitri. Savitri means what? Savitri means God for cosmic energy. Jiva Shakti. When you get up early in 4:30, 4:30 is the right time to get up. Brahma Muhurt. You finish off all your, ablutions, morning ablutions. Then you lift water. Face Surya Bhagavan, offer him Argya. Why? That is the time you have vitamins maximum in Surya's rays, sun rays. Okay. Newly born babies, you expose them to, I don't know whether you are aware of this or not, you expose them to sunlight, not mid-sunlight. Yeah? बहुत बेकार होता है. Newborn baby is exposed to early morning sun rays. Because early morning sun rays, you have vitamins maximum. But babies are generally born nowadays, okay, with jaundice. They will carry jaundice. So if you expose them for 1 week or so, okay, you are off jaundice. Okay, that's why you expose the baby to sun. Okay. Main problem today's women face is vitamin deficiency, D vitamin deficiency. It's because you never get exposed to sun. Okay, sitting in the AC rooms, horrible life we lead. Dirty life, you understand? Khana khate hai, till 12 o'clock, 30, 1 o'clock also in the night. Khana. How to digest it, first of all? That's why Buddha says only eat twice. Okay. There are timings for every creature in this world. A creature without timings when it comes to eating is man. Fast. Night 1 o'clock also you see people eating there. खाना खाते हैं. खाते खाते मर जाते हैं क्या ये लोग? इतना खाता. There are limitations for everyone. So Savitri, sun god Surya Bhagavan. For him, Gayatri is addressed. Gayatri composed by Vishwamitra. Gayatri is part of, these are the questions. Gayatri is part of the 3rd chapter of Rigveda. Next to Surya Bhagavan, you have Soma. I told you Soma, intoxicating drink. Soma. Aryans very much addicted to this. Understand? Some of our boys, successful candidates, they perform Soma. Sir, they invite us party. Sir, you please join. Okay, what is the occasion? Service we got. Fine. What is the agenda? Agenda Soma party, sir. Okay, Soma party means they go for drinks. Right. Soma, I told you already, a plant known for its magical power. Okay, its values, nourishment value. Moon is identified with Soma. God for Soma, moon, M-O-N, moon. Okay. Look at this. There are 10 chapters in Rigveda. Of the 10 chapters, one chapter dedicated to Soma. That means you can understand the importance of Soma for Aryans. Are you understand? 9th chapter. 9th mandala dedicated to Soma. Only one God, not Aryan. Aryans accepted. It was Rudra. R-U-D-R-A. Rudra. Who is Rudra? Pashupati of Indus Valley times. You remember Pashupati? Mahadev. He is transformed into Rudra in the Rigvedic times. Same Rudra, he becomes Shiva in the later Vedic age. When I go to later Vedic age, I will tell you. All these are what? Male, gender-wise. Because society matriarchal. That's why you have all male gods. In the Indus Valley religion, we had only one male god, Pashupati. In the Rigvedic religion, you had only one female goddesses. Goddesses of divinity, only one goddesses, Saraswati. Goddesses for knowledge, goddesses for learning. You call her Saraswati. They are deities, female. They are not divine. Okay. Ila, deity for evil spirits. Aranyayani, Aranya, forest. Deity for wild animals. Usha, beautiful name Usha. Usha means the beautiful princess of the dawn. D-A-W-N, dawn. When you get up at 5:30, that time very pleasant time. Okay. For Vedic religion, there is goddesses for that time. Okay. There is a deity for that time. Okay. That is Usha. Okay. You know the name Asia, continent Asia, is derived from Usha. Because early rays of the sun first hits Asia. Japan is the first country. You know that. Asia means the land of early sun rays. Usha. Okay. This Vedic religion, these are the gods and goddesses. Okay. You have Ashwin. Ashwins means gods for herbs and medicines. For every purpose there is one god in the Vedic religion. Okay. It's a very simple religion. In a sense, No complicated rituals and ceremonies. Only prayers. Close your eyes, offer prayer. That's it. This doesn't require a priest. Are you understanding? For a prayer you don't require priest. That's why Rigvedic religion democratic. Within the reach of common man. Okay, no domination of priest there. Okay. Take a note. Give the subheading religion. Religion, it was called monism. Monism within brackets. God is one. Monism means God is one, but takes different forms. Brackets close. And henotheism. And henotheism. Henotheism within brackets. Worshipping the forces of nature. Worshipping the forces of nature. What is this? Is this question or explanation? Aryan and non-Aryan, and I think you said Max Muller was wrong. There is nothing like Aryan. Yes, sir. Question or answer, what is this? You find out. Okay. Huh? No, if I don't answer these things, they are complaining. He is not answering us. We are online students, he is ignoring us. Complain lico. Understand? So we have to answer everything. Fine. If it's a question, I will answer, my dear. I don't know whether it is a question or explanation. Right. Henotheism, which means worshipping the forces of nature personified. Forces of nature personified. Person, personified. Full stop. According to Rigveda, next paragraph, according to Rigveda, whole universe, according to Rigveda, whole universe evolved out of great sacrifice performed by great sacrifice called Hiranyagarbha. Underline, great sacrifice called Hiranyagarbha, performed by earliest God, Father Dayus, and Mother Prithvi. Mother Prithvi. Full stop. Next paragraph. Universe thus evolved divided into three spheres or three parts. Sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E. Three spheres. Three spheres. Celestial. C-E-L-L-E-S-T-I-A-L. Celestial. Celestial means sky and above sky. Celestial, comma, aerial, A-R-E-A-L. Aerial, okay, and terrestrial, T-E-R-R-E-S, T-I-A-L, terrestrial. Terrestrial means earth and its surface. Full stop. Next, give the subheading. Indra, I-N-D-R-E. Indra, god of celestial sphere. God of celestial sphere, comma, the most powerful God. In the Rig Veda, nearly 1/4 of the Veda, nearly 1/4 of the Veda addressed to Indra only. Within brackets, 250 out of 1028 verses. 250. 250 out of 1028, 1028 verses are slokas, V-E-R-S-E-S, sloka, S-L-O-K. Verses are slokas addressed to Indra. Brackets close. He is the god of war and victory. Indra, god of war and victory. Called Purandhar. Indra called Purandhar. Purandhar means, within brackets, he who destroys the forts. He who destroys, F-O-R-T, forts. He who destroys the forts, F-O-R-T-S, forts. Brackets close. Full stop. Rig Veda says he killed. Indra killed a demon serpent. Serpent means snake. A demon serpent Vritra. Underline Vritra. Demon serpent Vritra, and saved the world, saved the universe. Saved the universe. Full stop. His other name, Indra's other name, Sahasrakshi. Sahasrakshi means God with 1,000 eyes. God with 1,000 eye. Akshi. Aksha means eye. Akshis. Full stop. Next paragraph. Varun. Varun, God for aerial sphere. God for aerial sphere. Most auspicious. Auspicious, Shubhaprada, auspicious, and sublime God, S-U-B-L-I-M-E, sublime, S-U-B-L-I-M-E, sublime God, full stop. God for rains and prosperity. Varun, God for rains and prosperity, full stop. He was also God for ethics, right like that. Also for ethics and values. He is also the God for ethics and values, full stop. Punishes the people, Varun punishes the people, wicked and unethical, punishes the people, unethical and immoral. Wicked, that means bad. Unethical and immoral, full stop. He also regulates, very important, mark it important. Varun regulates world moral order. World moral order called Rita or Vrita. Underline these words, Rita or Vrita. Mark it important. You got a question on that. What was Rita? World moral order. Full stop. Now give the subheading, Agni. Agni, God for terrestrial spheres. God for terrestrial spheres. Full stop. Now add that. God for not only terrestrial, aerial. He belonged to both the spheres, according to Rig Veda. I told you, sometimes you see fire in the air also, above sky. Right? Belong to not only terrestrial, but also aerial sphere, both the spheres. Full stop. Second most important God. Second most important God, within brackets, 220 verses of Rig Veda, 220 verses of Rig Veda are addressed to Agni. Full stop. In the Vedic religion, Agni is priest, P-R-I-E-S-T, priest, Purohit. Agni is Purohit or priest, okay, called Hotri, H-O-T-R-I. H-O-T-R-I, underline Hotri. Agni is called Hotri. Hotri means priest, Purohit, full stop. He is the messenger between Agni, messengers between the people of the earth, E-A-R-T-H, and the gods of heavens. Full stop. His other names, very important, Agni's other names, Havya Vahana, Havyavahana, underline Havyavahana, within brackets, God with smoke as vehicle. Havya means smoke. God with smoke as vehicle. Brackets close. Havyavahana. And Hutasena. Huta, H-U-T-H-A. S-A-N-A. Hutasena, within brackets, he who purifies. He who purifies everything. Purifier. Mark these things important. You got questions on this. Full stop. Next. After Agni, Savitri. Savitri is sun god Surya. Is sun god Surya. Full stop. The most sacred mantra, very, very important. The most sacred mantra, M-A-N-T-R-A, mantra, in the Vedic religion, Gayatri. Gayatri is addressed to Savitri. Savitri, comma, God of cosmic energy. God of cosmic energy, Jiva Shakti. Cosmic energy. Full stop. Gayatri mantra composed by Gayatri, composed by Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is part of third chapter of Rig Veda. Third chapter of Rig Veda. Mark these things, very important. Next. Soma, S-O-M-A. Soma. Soma, underline Soma. God of nourishment. God of nourishment. N-O-U-R-I. Nourish, nourishment. N-O-U-R-I-S-H-M-E-N-T. God of nourishment is identified with moon. M-O-O-N, moon. Full stop. Entire 9th chapter of Rig Veda, 9th mandala or chapter of Rig Veda, is dedicated to Soma. Mark it important. Next. Ashwin. Ashwins were gods of herbs, gods of herb, H-E-R-B, herbs and medicines. Gods of herbs and medicines. Next. Rudra, R-U-D-R-A. Rudra was the only non-Aryan god. Non-Aryan god. Non-Aryan god, Aryans accepted, Aryans worshipped. within brackets, Pashupati of Indus Valley times, Pashupati Mahadev of Indus Valley times, transformed into Rudra. Transformed into Rudra. Brackets close. Next. Saraswati. Saraswati was the only goddess with divinity, 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 daivatva, divinity. She is the goddess for knowledge and learning. Full stop. There were other deities, D-E-I-T-I-E-S, deities. There were other deities like Ela, E-E-L-A, double-E-L-A, Ela, Ela within brackets, deity for evil spirits. Deity for evil spirits. Brackets close. Aranyayani. I write the spelling. Aranyayani. Aranya. Aranyayani, the deity for wild animals. Wild animals. And Usha. Usha. Usha, within brackets, the beautiful princess of the dawn. Beautiful princess of the dawn, D-A-W-N, dawn. Early morning, princess of the dawn. Full stop. Next paragraph. Vedic religion simple. Simple, without any complicated rituals and ceremonies. Without any complicated rituals and ceremonies. Its main theme, prayer. Vedic religion main theme, prayer. As such, there was no scope for priest to dominate the religion. Priest to dominate the religion. Clear? That's the end of the Vedic age. Okay. You may excuse me. I'll just be back in 2 minutes. Right. We have completed the early Vedic or the Rigvedic age. This is the history of Aryans between 1500 to 1000. From 1000 onwards, up to 600 BC, it was called later Vedic. Why you call it later Vedic? It's because except Rigveda, entire mass of Vedic literature, I mean Sam, Yajur, Atharvana Vedas, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishads, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upavedas, Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, all this. They all were compiled during this age. Right. That's why later Vedic. First stage you call it Rigvedic because only Rigveda, that's all. All other Vedas and the Vedic literature was compiled during this age. That's why it's called later Vedic. Number 1. Secondly, when compared with Rigvedic age, later Vedic age entirely a different age. Different in the sense drastic changes had taken place. No way you can compare it with Rigvedic age. For the drastic changes taken place, you call it later Vedic age. In history, you use the word age when you see great changes taking place. Then what were such great changes? You call it later Vedic age. Drastic changes. Number 1, the main center of Aryan civilization shifted from Saptasindhu to Ganga Yamuna Do. I told you in the Rigvedic age, Aryans were confined to present Punjab and Haryana region. They had no knowledge of, UP, Bihar, Bengal. Now by 1000 BC, later Vedic age started, Aryans entered into UP, Bihar, Bengal. The main center shifted from Saptasindhu to Ganga Yamuna Do, the land between 2 rivers, Ganga and Yamuna. This is what Vedic literature calls as Prak Majjamadesha to Druhya Majjamadesha. Western part of India to central part of India. Druhya, central part of India. UP, Bihar, Bengal. Particularly UP means central part of India. That's one important change. Second important development, I told you in the Rigvedic times, you had 6 Aryan tribes. Bhartas, Purus, Tugvasas, right? Yadu, Druhya, Anu. In the later Vedic age, they all disappeared. You don't see these Aryan tribes anymore. New Aryan tribes formed. These new Aryan tribes, Kuru, K-U-R-U, Panchala, Anga, Vanga, Magadha, Videha, and Kasi. New tribes. You mean Kurus formed means Kurukshetra battle took place in the later Vedic age? Yes. 956, 956 BC. That's the year we believe Mahabharata battle must have taken place. Kurus, most powerful, ruling Kurukshetra with Hastinapura as capital city. Hastinapura means? Huh? Hastinapura means? Are? Tell me. Vijay. Where is Hastinapura? Delhi. You don't know. Indraprastha. Indraprastha is Purana Khila. Right? Panchala Desha means Aligarh. Aligarh region is called Panchala Desha. Draupadi coming from Panchala Desha, Panchali. Okay. So Kurukshetra, Kauravas kingdom Kurukshetra. Capital city Hastinapura. Right. Mahabharata battle must have taken place around 956 BC. You see in Mahabharata, Duryodhan appointed Karna king of Angarajya. Okay. So new tribes were formed, very powerful tribes. If you go to political system of the later Vedic age, I told you in the Rigvedic times you had small tribal states called Janas. In the later Vedic age, these Janas were replaced by very big territorial states. Very big territorial states called Janapada. Jana replaced by Janapada. One simple sentence. Why I like NCRT of R.S. Sharma sir is for this reason. Very simple sentences carrying lot of meaning. You don't have to give a lengthy answer. 5 meaningful sentences enough. Summarizing the entire effect. Small states, tribal states, Janas replaced by big territorial states, Janapadas. Finish. Entire transformation is explained by one simple sentence. You have big territorial states. Number 2, Rajan, king of Rigvedic times, was controlled by Sabha and Samiti. In the later Vedic age, no one to control king. Office of king became very powerful, autocratic, dictatorial, and even divine. King claimed divine status. Daivansh. Why office of king became powerful? It's because most powerful legislative assembly, Samiti, disappeared. In the later Vedic age, you don't see Samiti. Why Samiti disappeared? Samiti is for entire tribe, general assembly. When state got expanded, practically impossible for the people of faraway places to come and to take part in Samiti. Are you understanding? It's because of distance. Distance is the problem. People of faraway places could not come for Samiti, and gradually Samiti disappeared. Are you understanding what I am telling? In the Rigvedic times, our Rajendranagar itself, Jana. In the later Vedic age, this Jana of Rajendranagar went up to JNU and went up to Delhi University. We sitting here, we asked them, Arey, Samiti aaya ho bhai. Wo nahi aata. Understand? Where distance is the factor. Okay. They have to walk down all the way. So Samiti disappeared because of distance. When Samiti disappeared, no one to question king. It became very easy for king to control Sabha. Okay. Then I said kings claim divine status. How they claim divine status? By performing highly complicated ceremonies. Complicated ceremonies, Rajasuya, Ashwamedh, Vajpayee. There was Naramedha, but no one performed it because it's highly complicated. I will tell you later. What is Rajasuya? An ordinary king, Rajan. An ordinary king, you call him? Rajan, king of that area, Rajan. This Rajan, he performs Rajasuya. Means an open invitation for a fight. Anybody gutsy, understand? Anybody who can challenge me, come for a fight. No one accepted your challenge. That means you are king of kings. Rajanya. By Rajasuya, a Rajan will become Rajanya, king of kings, emperor. Then he would let loose horse. This is my horse. I am Rajanya. Let the horse go to any place, any direction. Anyone can stop the horse, but be prepared for war. Okay. No one stopped the horse. Then Ashwamedha is completed. This Rajanya, he will become Swarat. Means emperor of emperors. Understand? Then Swarat will go for Vajpayee. What is Vajpayee? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Vajpayee means he performed Vajpayee at one time. He, in sense, his ancestors. Vajpayee means chariot drawn by 4 horses. 4 horses drawing the chariot. This chariot may go to any direction, any place, no one to stop it. If it is stopped, then fight will take place. Understand? No one stopped it. Then this Swarat, he will become Virat. Virat, one step less than that of Indra. Okay. Then Virat, okay, is expected to go for Naramed, but no one had gone for Naramed. What is Naramed? You have to sacrifice a Brahmin bachelor. Okay. You Brahmin bachelor fellow, finish. Understand? But this sacrifice would take place with the willing cooperation of the parents. Parents. Hey, leke jao, koi baat nahi. Understand? If that is done, then it is Naramed. But generally it doesn't happen. No father, mother would like to see their son, okay, being sacrificed. So Naramed had never taken place. If Naramed is done, then this Virat would become Ekrat, the only king in the universe on par with Indra. Status? Indra. Finally, what can you make out of these things? Nonsense. Understand? They are all meant for kings to climb power, divine power. Barring that, it won't make any sense. Understand? Rituals and ceremonies. You mean no one performed Naramed? No one performed Naramed in the Vedic age. In the history, Naramed was performed. One king by name Madhavarma in the history of Andhra Pradesh, Vishnukundin dynasty, he sacrificed a Brahmin bachelor, Pinakabhattaraka, without the consent of his parents. Very next day, Madhavarma's son Govindavarma died. Family collapsed. That ended the dynasty. This sacrifice is highly complicated. That's why in Vedic times no king performed Naramed. Right. Then I told you in the Rigvedic times there were taxes, but no tax system. In the later Vedic age, you had taxes and a tax system both. Bhaga, I said Bhaga, not specified how much. Now in the later Vedic age, it was clearly specified. Bhaga means 1/6. In your production, what you produce, 1/6 would go to the state. That is Bhaga. You have officer, Bhagadugga, to collect Bhaga. Bali Sadaka, to collect Bali. Means officers had come. Tax system regularized. I said in the Rigvedic times, no bureaucracy. Now in the later Vedic age, you had a bureaucracy. Officers? Yes. Akshavepa, superintendent on gambling houses. You are going for playing cards. You fellows drink, play, everything there, pay tax. Every state would exploit the weakness of the individual. A state shall eradicate the weakness of the individual. Instead, state is treating the weakness as a source of revenue. Then fundamental question, can we call this state our state welfare state? I have so many questions to ask the great architects of the Constitution, Supreme Court. Supreme Court declares, my state is not a welfare state. Every street I see wine shops. Everywhere you are selling cigarettes. 5-year-old fellow blowing BD. Ban everything. Don't tell me it is generating employment. Nonsense. At the cost of people's health, you should not give any excuse. For you, revenue is more important or people's health is important. If you say revenue is more important, then remove the word welfare. In what way this state is welfare state? Please tell me. In the Vedic times also, you have officer there. Officer for gambling houses. Okay. Govikartan, royal bodyguard. Shattari, holding royal chamber, umbrella for king. Then Shuta, remember Shuta, very important. You may not remember the rest, not so important. Who is Shuta? Shutas, chariot drivers. While driving the chariots, they compose poems, recite, sing, entertain the king. That way, Shutas are royal bard, B-A-R-D, bard. Bards means poets come singers. Poets come singers. But their main profession? Driving chariot. You know, Mahabharata, Karna, Shutaputra. Poor fellow Karna discarded by Kunti. It was Radha who brought him up. Radha, wife of Shuta. That's why Karna's other name Radheya. His mother, actual mother, Kunti. Right. Shuta means chariot driver. Why I say Shutas very important for us is, it's Shutas who gave us Mahabharata. Get me right. Vyas Bhagavan composed Mahabharata. Who composed Mahabharata? Vyas. Oral transmission. Don't say Mahabharata written by Vyas. Okay. We have a narrative. Okay. Vyas was desperately searching for a good steno. Vyas wanted to dictate Mahabharata. Okay. No one had come forward. Then Ganesh Maharaj offered his service. While Vyas was dictating, Ganesh was writing. A bakwas, nonsense. You understand? Sheer nonsense. In the Vedic system, you have no reference to Ganapati Maharaj. Are you understanding? Where is Ganapati Maharaj? Did I mention Ganapati here? No. Okay. These all stories concocted. Okay. No substance at all. Vyas composed Mahabharata. It was recited. You sing Mahabharata, recital. Who would recite Mahabharata? Shutas. Question in UPSC. These are all the questions, very important. They ask a question. If Mahabharata is recited, then what it is called? Actual name of Mahabharata is also that. Actual name of Mahabharata, and Mahabharata when it is recited, it is called Jaya Samhita. That's the actual name. Jaya Samhita. If you understand Mahabharata in the right sense, you have no defeat. Because you are understanding the human nature. Right? When you understand human nature, you will not commit mistakes. Jaya Samhita. Other names of Mahabharata. These Shutas, while reciting Mahabharata, in course of time, started adding their own versions. Understand? Finally corrupting Mahabharata. Actual Mahabharata, 8,800 slokas. Shutas added nearly 90,000. Look at these fellows. Finally, Mahabharata volume went up to 1 lakh verses. Mahabharata volume, 1 lakh verses. That's why Mahabharata other name, Shata Sahasra Samhita. Shata, 100. Sahasra, 1,000. 100 1,000s means 1 lakh. Mahabharata, 1 lakh verses. That's the problem. Okay. Other names for Mahabharata. Panchama Veda, 5th Veda. You don't have to read 4 Vedas and break your head. Read only Mahabharata. That is the essence of the Vedas. Okay. Mahabharata, Purushartha Pradayani. Question again. What are Purusharthas? UPSC knows your weakness. Your weakness, you people are very much anglicized. You don't know the meanings of Sanskrit words. That's where they hit you. Arghavata. Question. Answer de. क्या आंसर देते हैं लोग? Anglicized. Some behave as if they just landed up from London. Understand? Huh? Problem I told you. Okay, you are neither with Hindi nor with English. That is the problem. Okay. Apply the reason. Try to understand, derive the meaning. There you are. Okay. So here you see, Purusharthas. What are the Purusharthas? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. 4 Purusharthas. Dharma comes always first in the Vedic literature. Essence of Vedic literature, simply remember only one thing. Dharma. Okay. So one idiot I have seen yesterday, he was giving it, some website I have seen. Ramayana means invasion of Ram. You fellow, if you don't know, better you keep your mouth shut. It is not the invasion of Ram. Yana, journey, Ramayana, the journey of Ram. He has 2 legs, one on Dharma, the other one on Satya. 2 legs. That is what is Ramayana. Okay. Invasion. Maryadharam, he never goes for war. At one time he threatens, I can smash the whole universe within minutes, but I don't want to do it. Okay. Maryadharam. Okay. A tendency to malign Ram is inexcusable, my dear. Don't accept him as a historic figure, that is your perspective. Okay. But a wonderful character, at least admire the quality. If you don't want to accept it, that's a different thing. A tendency on some part, okay, to malign and to misinterpret, this is inexcusable. Okay. That too hurting the sentiments of many other people. Right. So here you see, Dharma is the essence, first part, Purushartha, be duty-minded. All other things are connected to Dharma only. Earn money. Vedic rishis will never say don't earn money, don't go for profit and make money. Money is very important in life. They are very practical. Second important place, Artha. Artha means finance. Third one, Kama, satisfy desires. Don't suppress your desires. They will hit you back. You will become restless. Fulfill all the desires. When you fulfill all the desires, you feel you are liberated. happy, nothing to crave for. You have seen everything. Kama, desire is fulfilled. That itself is moksha. You will go to moksha. Moksha, moha, kshaya. There is nothing to crave for. I don't want anything. Enough. I have seen. That is itself is salvation. These are 4 purusharthas. Mahabharata gives you that. That's why Mahabharata is called Purushartha Pradayani. Okay. So later Vedic age, entirely different. Permanent standing army in later Vedic age, also you don't have permanent standing army. I told you the Rigvedic times, no permanent standing army. In the later Vedic age also, no standing army. Okay. War, everyone would go for war. No standing armies. That's later Vedic polity. Take a note. Give the heading, later Vedic age. Later Vedic age, heading. Within brackets, 1000 to 600 BC. to 600 before Christ, BC. Brackets close. Major changes, important changes. Number 1, entire Vedic literature except Rigveda was composed in this age. Next, number 2. The main center of Vedic civilization shifted from Saptasindhu, SAPTA, Saptasindhu, within brackets, Punjab and Haryana, brackets close, to Saptasindhu to Ganga Yamuna, Doab, D-O-A-B, Doab. Ganga Yamuna Doab, within brackets, UP, Bihar and Bengal. UP, Bihar and Bengal. Brackets close. Next. Third important one, next paragraph. The Rigvedic tribes, Rigvedic Aryan tribes, disappeared and new tribes appeared. New tribes were formed. New tribes were formed, full stop. They included, new tribes included Kurus, Panchalas, Angas, Magadas, Videhas, and Khasis. Full stop. Kuru's most powerful. Next paragraph. Kuru's most powerful ruled Kurukshetra. They ruled Kurukshetra with the capital city Hastinapura. Full stop. Mahabharat battle must have taken place around 956 BC, 956 BC, before Christ. Full stop. Now give the subheading, political changes or later Vedic polity. Write like that, later Vedic polity. Later Vedic polity, underline polity. Important changes number 1. Small tribal states called Janas were replaced by big territorial states. Big territorial states called Janapadas. Janas were replaced by Janapadas. Underline Janapadas. Number 1. Next, number 2. Office of king became powerful, dictator or despotic, dictatorial, and even divine, D-I-V-I-N-E. King's office became divine. Full stop. King became powerful. Wait. It became divine. Full stop. The reasons, just write like that. Reasons. Number 1, most powerful legislative assembly of the Rigvedic times, Samiti disappeared. Due to distance. As the state got expanded. Next, number 2. Secondly, king claimed divine status. King claimed divine status by performing complicated ceremonies like Rajasuya, comma, Ashwamedha, Vajapaya, full stop. Rajasuya, Ashwamedha, and Vajapaya. Full stop. Though Naramedha was mentioned, though Naramedha was mentioned, it was not performed. It was not performed in the Rigvedic age. Full stop. Next paragraph. By performing Rajasuya, an ordinary king Rajan would become Rajanya. Within brackets, king of kings. Full stop. Rajanya performing Ashwamedha, by performing Ashwamedha, would become Swarat. Full stop. Rajanya would become Swarat by performing Ashwamedha. I completed the sentence. By performing Ashwamedha will become Swarat. Full stop. Next. Swarat by performing Vajapaya. Within brackets, chariot drawn by 4 horses. Swarat performing Vajapaya. Vajapaya means, within brackets, chariot drawn by 4 horses. Okay. By performing Vajapaya, Swarat would become Virat. V-I-R-A-T. Virat. Next only to Indra. Virat, within brackets, next only to Indra. In status. Full stop. If Naramedha is performed, Virat would be Ekrat. Virat would become Ekrat, comma, the only king in the universe. On par with Indra. On par or equally with Indra. Status wise, on par, P-A-R, par with Indra. Full stop. Next paragraph. In Indian history, King Madhav Varma of Vishnukundin dynasty Madhavarma of Vishnukundin dynasty, Rajavamsh. Dynasty means Rajavamsh. Vishnukundin dynasty. In the history of Andhra Pradesh, in the history of AP, Andhra Pradesh, performed Naramed full stop. Next paragraph. In the later Vedic age, and don't have to write like that, leave it, I'm sorry. Next paragraph. Bureaucracy was well established. Bureaucracy was well established. Bureaucracy was well established. Akshavepa. Akshavepa means superintendent on gambling houses. Superintendent on gambling houses. Govikartan. Govikartan means king's bodyguard. Shattari. Govikartan means king's bodyguard. Shattari means royal chamberlain. Chamber. That means he holds the chamber, chhatri, umbrella. Next, Shuta. Shuta. Shuta means chariot driver, and royal bird, bearded bird. B-A-R-D, bird. Within brackets, bird means within brackets, poet cum singer. Poet cum singer. Full stop. Next paragraph. Shutas recited. Shutas recite, R-E-C-I-T-E-D, recited Mahabharat. Mark it important. Mahabharat composed by Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas, V-E-D Ved, Vyas, V-Y-S, Ved Vyas, full stop. Its actual name, Mahabharat, actual name, Jayasamhita. Jayasamhita. Mark it important. Jayasamhita. Full stop. Its other names, Shatasahasra Samhita, Shatasahasra Samhita, which means epic with 1,00,000 verses. Epic, E-P-I-C. Epic with 1,00,000 verses, slokas. Come on. Panchama Veda. What is the fifth Veda? Mahabharata. Panchama Veda, fifth Veda. And Purushartha Pradayani. Pradayani. Purushartha Pradayani. Underline Purushartha Pradayani. Within brackets, the four Purusharthas are Dharma, Artha. Artha means finance. Kama means desire. Kama. And moksha. Dharmartha, kama, moksha. Full stop. Brackets close, full stop. Next. Tax system was well established. In the later Vedic age, tax system was well established. Bhaga, B-H-A-G-A. Bhaga, comma, compulsory tax, was fixed at 1/6, 1/6 of the produce, P-R-O-D-U-C. 1/6 of the produce, P-R-O-D-U-C, produce. Full stop. It was collected by Bhaga was collected by Bhagadugga. Underline Bhagadugga. Whereas Bali was collected by Bali, voluntary offering. Bali was collected by Bali Sadhaka. Bali Sadhaka. Full stop. Next sentence. Even in the later Vedic age, there was no regular army. Right. Go for your break. Take your break. Right. Quiet please, class. After Vedic polity, later Vedic polity, when it comes to later Vedic society, changes were more so drastic. Number one, the Trivarna system of the Rigvedic times. Trivarna system. Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Trivarna system. It was transformed into Chaturvarna system. Fourfold caste system. 4 Varnas. Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. You mean Shudras were given Varna status? Yes. In the later Vedic age, Shudras were given Varna status. Why? you ask this question when we go to economy, later Vedic economy. It's because society depended on Shudra in the later Vedic economic times, economy. Shudra's need was felt. Shudra's, necessity was felt for the society. That's why society gave them Varna status. I will explain that later. Now, fourfold Varna system. This fourfold Varna system, Chaturvarna system, you call it today caste system. I already told you, strictly speaking, there are no castes. Okay. This word caste is not even English. Portuguese used the word caste for the first time in understanding the Indian society. What you had was Varna system. Trivarna and Chaturvarna. Chaturvarna you equate it with the caste system. Okay. What is the difference between the two? Trivarna system based on your profession. You remember? Your profession. Chaturvarna system is based on your birth. This is the problem. I told you in the Trivarna system, you can change your Varna by changing your profession. That's not done in Chaturvarna system. Your birth is, related to your father. You can't change your father. Right? For Varna state's sake, we can't change your father, It's not done. That's why there is no scope for change of Varna in the Chaturvarna system. You are born to a Brahmin, your father Brahmin, you are a Brahmin. Even though you are illiterate and fit for nothing fellow, okay, you are a Brahmin. Get the point. You are born to a Shudra, but you are very intelligent. You are prolific, proficient. Even then, you are a Shudra. Because your father is Shudra. So problem is with this system, highly rigid. I told you Trivarna system, intervarna marriage permitted. Intervarna dining permitted. In the Chaturvarna system, they all were discouraged. No intervarna marriage, no intervarna dining. In the Trivarna system, there is nothing called ineligibility, understand, of a section of society for moksha. Everyone is eligible for salvation. Whereas in the Chaturvarna system, Shudras are not eligible for salvation. What that you talk of, the ill treatment meted out to Shudras, it happened in the later Vedic age, not in the Rigvedic age. Shudras were given the Varna status, but were not given the dignity they deserve as human beings in the society. That's why you are bitter in your criticism against fourfold Varna system. Are you understanding? How this ill treatment started? To maintain this order, Chaturvarna system, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, this is the hierarchy. Brahmins claiming the first place in the social hierarchy. Next to Brahmin, Kshatriyas. Next, Vaishya, Shudras. This is the hierarchy. That's why Buddha asked a fundamental question. You Brahmins, who gave you this right to decide that you are number one, the other ones are number 2, 3, 4, like that? On what basis, with what authority you do this? Fundamental question, very much important question also. Right. To maintain this hierarchy, in the later Vedic age, okay, Varnashrama dharmas were introduced. Upper caste definitely require new ideas and institutions to maintain their position, their domination in the society. How to maintain your domination? So introduce new ideas, new institutions, new idea, varnashrama dharma. Okay. What is varnashrama dharma? Okay. When you are asked about varnashrama dharmas, people simply say, sir, varnashrama dharmas means brahmacharya, vanaprastha, sannyas, brahmacharya, grihast, vanaprastha and sannyas for ashram dharmas. But that's not the end. Varnashrama dharmas actually are of two types. One for your varna. For every varna there is dharma. I am Brahmin. My duty is to seek knowledge and guide the society. Why Brahmin is respected? Brahmin is respected for his learning, for his wisdom, and for his intellect. It is his duty to serve the society by guiding the society in the right path. Purohita, hita, the ones who teach good for the society. Brahmanism is great. You may not have come across Brahmins great. Are you understanding? Brahmanism is definitely great. How do you say Brahmanism is great? A Brahmin shall not have private property, number one. Brahmin shall not think about tomorrow. You know, strictly speaking, Vedic religion prescribed for Brahmin only by alms, begging. Okay. Yachana. A Brahmin will never expect anything from you. Unfortunately, the Panditjis are different. That's a different question. Okay. That's why I say you have not come across a true Brahmin. I have seen some Brahmins, highly respected. Okay. They're so simple in their highly, qualified people. Ghanapatis, proficient. Okay. They lead a very simple life. They don't expect anything. You ask them anything, they will give you. Kundalini, they will give you. They see your Kundalini and advise you. They perform ritual and ceremony. Okay, you give something, they take. Otherwise, they don't ask anything. They'll simply go away. Okay. There's a sense of total detachment in a Brahmin. You have not come across these Brahmins. That's why we criticize them. Okay. Brahmin, definitely great. Just as that, Kshatriya even, ready to die for his society. Kshatriya. Okay. Vaishya, ready to provide service. Every caste has its own dharma. Shudra. You mean Shudra great? Definitely Shudra great. Shudra is the one who is ready for hard work. The way Shudras work, you and I can't work. Understand? They are known for hard work. Okay. Highly constructive. Shudra. So every varna has one duty. Dharma. Ravanasura, Brahmin. Ravanasura by birth, Brahmin. Grandson of, Brahma. Brahmin. Ram asked Ravanasura to say to the Muhurt, when shall we start the war? You, Lakshman, go and ask Ravanasura. As Ram knew, Ravanasura would never say no to anyone. Whoever that comes to him for Muhurt. He's an expert in astrology. Ravanasura wholeheartedly laughing. Are your brother very intelligent fellow here? He sends you for Muhurt, knowing that I won't say no to him. I won't say no to anyone. Okay. Ask your brother to start war in so and so hours. He will definitely win. In other words, I am writing my own death warrant. Because a Brahmin, when he sets the Muhurt, he must set the Muhurt in the interest of the other party, whichever the task, not in his interest, right? This is Brahmanism. Right? Now, Varnashram Dharma, the other side, you have 4 Ashrama Dharmas. What do you mean by this? Vedic religion says that ever since you are born until you die, birth to death, we have 4 places to stay. Number 1, you have to stay with your Guru. That is Gurukul. Father, mother, once they give you birth, that's where actually their role ends. Who shall bring you up? It is teacher, your Guru. Okay. The light of knowledge that illuminated in you is the light lit by your Guru. Understand? I am sitting before you, addressing you, not because of my greatness, my great teachers who taught me. Understand? I am a reflection of them. That's fine. My professor's class, today morning I was telling, my professor's class, it starts at 1 o'clock and it will go up to 8 o'clock in the night. He never makes you to think about break even. Such a proficiency, flow of concept, oration, diction, okay, mind-blowing. I was very, very fortunate to have been there. Okay, I am the last representative of the students of the great professors, I am telling you. Professor Chandrasekhar. When he starts his class, even professors of chemistry and physics department, they attend his class. They have nothing to do with it, but they come. That is proficiency. Where are such teachers today? Right. Guru is like that. He never expects anything from you. Understand? He gives his knowledge. When you are on par with him, okay, that is the day for Guru. Understand? His job is done. Okay. It is ethical, moral responsibility. That's why I told you, Dronacharya had not taught all Shastras and Astras for Ashwadhama fellow, his own son. That fellow's temperament, very bad temperament. So you stay with your Guru. That ashrama is Gurukul. There you are Brahmacharya. Brahmachari. Brahmachari does not mean to remain without marriage. That's not. Brahmacharya means exercising control over the senses. When you are with your Guru, you should control your senses. Right? Sometimes I tell you people, when I am addressing the class, you keep watching TV, cell phone, sending message, talking to each other. Okay, that shall not be done. Your Guru is addressing you. You have got to listen, otherwise you cannot get him again. Okay. So Brahmacharya, stay with your Guru. That is first ashram dharma. Second ashram dharma, Guru qualifies you. Array, your education is over. Get back home. Understand? Question in UPSC, homecoming ceremony is called, you have completed your education, you are going back home. This homecoming ceremony is called Samvartana. Samvartana. Now you are graduated. Get back home, marry, take care of your parents, take care of your wife, give her children. You must maintain the lineage, continuity of the family. There you are grihast. Grihast dharmas. Then withdraw yourself. Enough is enough, you have seen. What is married life you have seen? What is family you have seen? You fellow, now withdraw. Otherwise they will make you withdraw. Your son, your daughter-in-law, they are ready. So give the responsibility. Even before they throw you out of your house, better you withdraw with dignity. Got the point? Today what's happening? Okay. Condition the girls put. Koi nahi aana, tumhara baap nahi, tumhara maa nahi, kuch nahi aana. When I leave behind my mother and my father, how would I allow your father and your mother? Chhod do unko. That's why they are ending up in Vruddhashrama. Don't ever do this. Understand? We shall not cause pain to them. They sacrificed their lives. Don't ever do these things. Okay. Our education is not that. Our culture is not that. Okay. They don't want anything from you except a good word and 2 times food, that's all. When you sit with your mother and with your father and spend half an hour, that's a tonic for them. Understand? Unfortunately, it's a very bad trend that is developing. Once you leave your house, then you have to go to forest area. That is called vanaprasth. See the balance the rishi had struck. Everywhere there is balance. Earn money, your fellow earn money, enjoy life, and withdraw yourself. That is vanaprasth. When you go to vanaprasth, that is forest life. Go with your wife. She is permitted to be with you. The last ashrama dharma is sannyas. There you are not to have even your wife. You are completely liberated from bonds. No bonds. No bonds. That itself is salvation. Moksha. Okay. You have no bonds. You are a liberated bird, free bird. No pain. Pain is because of bond only. No. We are connected with everything. That's why pain. I lost my close friend, very close friend, poor fellow died of blood cancer. I have not been able to recover so far. Getting depression. It's because I am attached to him. That's what Buddha says. Are Anand. Understand? Cause of misery is contact. Are fantastic statements from Buddha. The Buddha, I am telling you, more intelligent and more enlightened than before enlightenment, after enlightenment. After enlightenment. Are you understanding what I am telling? He was more enlightened before enlightenment than after enlightenment. Are you understanding what I am telling? Okay. His sentences, what he uttered, I am telling you, mind-blowing. Perfect. After enlightenment, he turned very cautious. Okay. Very rarely he uses words, selectively he uses the words. That means he is structured. Got the point? It's like me coming to the class, the way I wanted to teach the class is different. ऐसा नहीं होता है इधर. आप ऐसा बोलो, ऐसा instructions आता है. You understand? ऐसा बोलना, ऐसा बोलना, ऐसा बोलना. That means what? You are structured. Get the point? Hope you are understanding? Yes. Okay. So, here you see, these are ashrama dharmas. Questions in UPSC, look at the UPSC's questions. If these 4 ashrama dharmas compulsory, what is the dharma no one ever followed? Listen. 4 dharmas compulsory for Brahmin. First 3 compulsory for Kshatriya. That means Kshatriya would go only up to Vanaprasth. No sannyas for Kshatriya. Vaishya only up to Grihastha. Okay. He won't go up to Vanaprasth even. Okay. Shudra, no Varnashram dharma. It is that Shudras had no Varnashram dharma. Shudras are declared ineligible for moksha. अरे शूद्रा तुमको वर्णाश्रम धर्म नहीं है, इसीलिए तुम you are not eligible for moksha. Your duty, serve the upper caste, 3 upper caste. This is your duty. This is where the real problem started. Okay. Then questions in UPSC, if 4 compulsory for the Brahmin, which ashrama dharma never followed? Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Of the 4, which was never practiced by the Brahmins? Apply yourself. Which is very difficult. Sannyas is very difficult. Are you understanding? Sannyas was the ashrama dharma, never practiced. You go there, sit for a while. Afterwards, you feel like seeing your wife again. So you come back. Got the point? I told you Vishwamitra sat for severe meditation. The moment he had seen Menaka, वो जब बाद में देखेंगे meditation. पहले मेनका को देखना है. He had come back again to family life. So that's why breaking the bond is not that easy. Okay. So sannyas is the ashram dharma never practiced. Are you clear? Okay. Where do you see these ashram dharmas mentioned? They are mentioned for the first time in Jabala Upanishad. That's the Upanishad where you have ashram dharmas mentioned for the first time. The questions in UPSC. Next, other important development was Gotra. Gotra system introduced in the later Vedic age. There are no Gotras in the Rigvedic times. Okay. What is Gotra? Literal meaning of the word Gotra, the place where you keep your cow shed or cow stay. Place for keeping the cow. In the context of social history, Gotra means disclosing the antecedents. I belong to the family of so-and-so Rishi. My ancestor, I come from that family of that great Rishi. When I tell you that, I am disclosing my Gotra. You go to temple. There you have Panditji. Panditji, Archana Karna. Karlo. Immediately Panditji will ask you, what is your Gotra? Did you observe this? You don't go to temples. You are really the great souls on this earth here. Huh? Don't go anywhere. Don't study anything. Don't learn anything. Blessed souls on this earth. You can give a wonderful justification. You are above all religions. Understand? Huh? To cover up our ignorance. When you go to a temple, the priest will definitely ask you, what is your Gotra? Then you will disclose. When you observe conservative Brahmins, when they disclose their Gotra, they are very, very particular. They take a lot of pride also. You have to hold your ears like this. Right hand over the left hand. Token of respect for your ancestor. Ahambo, I belong to Kaushikasa Gotra. Not in English. Okay. Kaushikasa Gotra Udbhavasya. Sanskrit. Okay. English nahi hai udhar. Kaushikasa Gotra Udbhavasya. Ahambo. Okay. Kaushikasa Gotra. I belong to the family of Kaushika. I belong to the family of Bharadwaj. Like that, you disclose the name of the great Rishi, telling the other person that you belong to his family. What is great about this? There you take pride in telling the others that his blood, sacred blood, is in your body. Sacred blood of Bharadwaj is flowing in my veins. I belong to the family of Bharadwaj. This is Gotra. Why Gotra? Gotra is emphasizing on purity of blood. Thereby, Gotra system is for discouraging the intercaste marriage. Purpose is this. Purity of your blood. You belong to the family of Bharadwaj. You fellow, you want to marry a lower caste woman, polluting your blood. Nahi chalta. Are you understanding? At home front you also see. You want to marry a man from lower caste. Chalta nahi. Ye खानदान का इज्जत का सवाल. Understand? Huh? Either we will kill the fellow or you honorary death. Honor death. Understand? Purpose of Gotra system definitely to maintain the purity of blood, thereby to discourage the intercaste marriage. Marriage within the Gotra prohibited, because she is like your sister. So you go for marriage outside the Gotra. But problem in our student days, we don't know all these things. We fall in love with someone. When you fall in love, that's all. You don't ask her what is your Gotra, what is your Kshetra, and all that, You are falling in love with her. She also said, okay, I am ready for marriage. Marriage? Fantastic. We are married. Okay. One fine morning you asked her, "Arey dear, what is your Gotra?" "My Gotra, Kaushika Gotra." "What is this here? You are Kaushik Gotra, I am Kaushik Gotra. So today onwards we are brother and sister." Same Gotra, She is relation-wise, she is like sister. Now a very big problem for you. How to overcome this? Then you go to again Pandit ji. Pandit ji, kya karna, kuch batao kya karna. Our Pandit ji advise you, either of you go for adoption. Adoption. You are Kaushik Gotra, she is Kaushik Gotra. So you go to Bharadwaj Gotra fellow, say that you are, ask him to take you on adoption. Your Gotra is changed. Gotra is changed. But ye kya? This is not changed. Blood is just the same. I am telling you, these are ridiculous ideas. Got the point? No substance there. Okay. If I subject my blood for test, I don't know how many races are here. Got the point? Where is purity of blood? Tell me. Nonsense. Okay. But these systems developed there. After this Gotra system, you have untouchability. Untouchability appeared for the first time in later Vedic age. Who were untouchables? Today morning I asked the question, then everyone said, Shudra. Shudra nahi hai. I told you Shudras were not untouchables. Shudra very much part of society. Who said Shudras untouchable? Okay. Untouchability is of two types, by birth and by profession. By birth, who are untouchables? Children born under two types of marriages, Anulom and Pratilom. Anuloma marriage means marriage between an upper caste and lower caste man, upper caste man and lower caste woman. Anuloma, convenient. Upper caste man can marry lower caste woman. Not accepted, but better. Okay. Better for the caste system, not for us, I'm telling you. In this system, if the children are born to father upper caste, mother lower caste, under the marriage Anuloma, okay, then they are declared half polluted. Because they get the status of father, but mother comes from lower caste. Half polluted. They are called Vrachya, V-R-A-T-Y-A-S. Half polluted, in other sense, half touchable. We don't know what to touch, what not to touch. It is, I leave it to your wisdom. Understand? Half, half touchable, in other words, half polluted. They are called Vrachyas, V-R-A-T-Y-S, under Anuloma marriage. Exactly vice versa. Father coming from lower caste, mother coming from upper caste. This is condemned. They can marry lower caste woman. Lower caste man cannot marry upper caste woman. That's the problem with caste system, fourfold Varna system. If marriage takes place, children born there, for father coming from lower caste, mother coming from upper caste, then the children are called Chandalas. Are you understanding? Chandala, fully polluted, not to be touched. Understand? This is the interpretation. That's why we ban this word. We don't use this word. It is highly derogative. Okay. You cannot subject one person to humiliation because of his birth. Got the point? It's punishable offense. So who are untouchables? Untouchables by birth, these two, in the Vedic society. Untouchables by profession, the ones who remove dead bodies, who clean the filth, they are untouchables by profession. Not according to me, don't attribute motives to me. When I am explaining, I am discussing everything in the context of Vedic society. These things are very sensitive. Okay, people take it into heart and they feel bad. Nothing to feel bad about it, leave it. That's about past. Okay. And moreover, you are attributing motives to the faculty, which is very bad. Are you understanding? We are matured. We have no considerations like that. You and I, we relate to each other. Not because of caste. Because of affinity. We strike one relationship. That is more important for us. Right? The ones who clean the filth in the society, they are made to stay outside the society. That's why they are called ancha, ancheja, stay outside, ancha. Nishad, prohibited, nisheda, nishads. And kirat, kirat means forest tribes. They are not civilized. That's why they are all declared untouchables. This was untouchability. This doesn't apply to Shudra. Are you understanding? Yes, Shudras are agriculturalists now. They move very freely in the society. Okay. Next, after untouchability, you have all other evils. What you call it evil? Child marriage, dowry system, understand? Sati, they all appeared in the later Vedic age. A girl becoming widow, she should suffer the widowhood all through her life. So society became very rigid. Very rigid. A new custom called niyoga. What is niyoga? Niyoga means cohabitation of a wife with husband's brother until she becomes a mother. Are you understanding? Husband is there. For some reason or the other, he is not giving children. He is not in a position to give children. Husband is not there. Then wife is permitted to stay with husband's brother until she becomes mother. Their husband's brother is called niyogi. He is appointed only for the purpose of giving children to his sister-in-law. Because lineage must be maintained. Right? No husband. Even if husband is there, children is not there. Then how to continue the lineage, family? That's why husband's brother should give children. Are you understanding? Once she conceives, then the relationship would end. Are you understanding what I'm telling? This is called, in anthropology, levirate. Levirate. Okay, niyoga otherwise. You know, Mahabharata starts that way. Shantanu married Ganga. Ganga left Shantanu. Ganga's son, Gangeya, Devavrata, Bhishmacharya. Same Shantanu tried to marry, fall in love with Satyavati. Right? Okay. Then she puts forth the condition, only her sons should come to power. That's not accepted by Shantanu. Bhishma comes to know about this. Devavrata. Then he convinces Satyavati that he won't stake claims for throne. What is the guarantee? That's the question she asks. That's why he has taken an oath. Okay, awe-striking oath, awful oath. That's why he is called Bhishma. Bhishana Pratigna, that he won't marry, just to satisfy his father. Satyavati married Shantanu. You have Vichitravira, Chitrangada born. The fellows died without giving children. On his part, he won't marry. Already, Bhishma had Vedavyas, brother of Bhishma. Vedavyas recited Omkara and left for forest. Now Bhishma requested Vyas, come back, give children. Are you understanding? On my part, I won't marry. That's why that's how Panduraj, Dhritarashtra were born. They were actually sons of Vedavyas. Kauravas, Pandavas, grandsons of Vyas. Okay. That's what Vyasa tells you. I am telling you a story, Itihas Mahabharat, how my grandchildren killed each other and perished before my eyes. All of you listen, you don't commit mistakes like that. This is why it is called Itihas. What is Itihas? The incident that happened before your eye and in which you are a party also. Are you understanding? I am narrating the story. I am the witness for the incident. I am narrating the incident. I am the witness for the incident and I am part of the incident also. In Mahabharata, you see Vyasa also comes in between. Right? That is Itihas. What I had seen before my eyes. Okay. So these developments all had taken place in the later Vedic society. Okay. Drastic changes. Are you left with time? What is time? 4. Right? Can you give me 10 more minutes? Yeah? 10-15 minutes more? Fine. Go to later Vedic economy. Okay. Later Vedic economy transformed from pastoral to agriculture. Someone asked me the question, why Aryans migrated from Sapta Sindhu to Ganga Yamuna Do? Ganga Yamuna Do, plain area, fertile lands. So you can go for cattle grazing first. They are more pastoral, not agriculture. But once they entered into Ganga Yamuna Do, most fertile lands, they started agriculture there. Okay. There was remarkable growth of production. Why? Because lands, number 1, fertile. Number 2, most important development, iron technology entered. If you remember, I told you Iron Age started in 1000 BC, corresponding to later Vedic age. I said that, right? So in the later Vedic age, you have iron technology. Krishna Ayas, Krishna black, Ayas metal. Iron thrashers, iron sickles, iron swords, right? Iron saw. Everything made of iron. Very strong metal and durable. That too very cheap. Iron is found everywhere. So this cheaply available iron technology entered into the economy. It came within the reach of common man. Common man means here Shudra. Now Shudras came to have iron tools and technology. I already told you Shudras are known for hard work. Before iron tools technology entered, Shudras were dependent on the upper caste. Now Shudras no more dependent. Lands very fertile, go for agriculture. Technology, tools very cheaply available. They themselves started agriculture. Now Shudra, independent farmer. When Shudras entered into agriculture, the 3 upper varnas, they withdrew. They left agriculture. Because Shudras are cultivating. Vaishyas left cultivation, went for trade. Kshatriyas, they left agriculture. They could concentrate well on expansion. Brahmins also left agriculture. You mean all were agriculturalists before? Yes. They were all going for agriculture. Now Shudra entered. There is no need for 3 upper varnas. They left agriculture. That's why you see, 1500 to 1000 you had only one Rig Veda. 1000 to 600 Brahmins left agriculture. They lost time. They could devote their energy and time for Vedic literature. Got the point? Sam, Yajur, Atharana Vedas, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishads, a vast mass of Vedic literature. It's because Brahmins were now liberated from agriculture production. Shudras, they are cultivating for that. Society depended upon Shudra for subsistence. That's why Shudras were given Varna status. Are you clear? Agriculture production increased means, I told you, it would lead to surplus production. Trade, commerce, industry would definitely expand. Towns were formed in the later Vedic age because of trade, commerce developing. Okay. Towns formed? Yes. Hastinapura, Achichatra, Atranjikera, okay, new towns. Okay. That's why later Vedic age economy, you call it as second age of urbanization. First age of urbanization? Indus Valley. In the Indian history, first age of urbanization, Indus Valley. Second age of urbanization, later Vedic age. New towns were formed. It's because of trade commerce developing, you have very important associations formed. Associations of merchants, associations of craftsmen. If it is association of merchants, it would be headed by Sreshti. Rich merchant is called Sreshti. He would head the association of merchants. Association of craftsmen, I mean pot makers, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, they also formed into their own association. These associations are called in Sanskrit, Vedic literature, Sreni. Very, very important. S-R-E-N-I, Sreni. In English, we call them guild, G-U-I-L-D. Otherwise, associations. So, guild system appeared for the first time in the later Vedic age. Sreshti, Jyeshtaka, head of the craftsman guild, that means chief craftsman. You call him Jyeshtaka, elderly. Even if you go for a mechanic shop, then he would tell you, let's wait, our chief will come. Are you understanding? Chief mechanic will come. That way, he is called elderly, Jyeshtaka. Jyeshtaka would head the craftsman guild. Each guild had, in the Vedic age, their own dharma, duty. What to produce, how much to produce, what quality to maintain, at what price to sell. They decide it for themselves. This is called Sreni Dharma. These words are very, very important. In the later Vedic economy, a new pottery appeared. That new pottery is called, in Sanskrit, Nila Lohita. Nila Lohita. How many pots you have come across so far? In the Indus Valley? BPW, black polished ware. Rigvedic times, BRW. They also manufactured OCP, ore-colored pottery. I have given it in the printed material. Now, later Vedic Aryan is manufacturing a type of pottery called PGW, painted graveware pottery, PGW. Clear? This is about later Vedic economy. There is nothing to talk about that. I shall stop here for this. And I will post synopsis up to this point I explained. I don't dictate anything. Clear? We are running short of time.